everyone, my name is Catherine and welcome to my channel. Today I wanted to talk about 50 plus ideas of what you can get your travel loving blank friend, spouse, coworker, whatever it is, that travel loving person in your life. And I saw some people start doing videos like this and I thought I'd do a travel edition just because there can be so many different things that you can get for your friend or whoever you're trying to find a gift for, whether it be something they bring on their travels or something that is just travel related. And I thought I'd wear a Christmas sweater today. By the way, for this video, I actually work at Nintendo and there's this Nintendo Christmas sweater that was in the store that we have at work. And I just thought it was really cute, little Mario and Luigi. So that is my Christmas sweater for you all. So yeah, just getting into the festive holiday spirit. So because I have so many gifts, I'm just gonna get straight into it and I'll put photos up here and links down below in the description for gifts that you can get whoever you're shopping for this year. All right, so I wrote them down on my phone, so if I'm looking down, that is why. But first off, obvious, a very generous gift, but a trip itself. I know I have asked in the past for family to help out with paying for travel or a trip altogether, sometimes with different travel companies such as EF Ultimate Break, Contiki, G Adventures, or what have you. They have trips that are for a couple $1,000s, which yes is expensive, but could be so much cheaper than going a different route. Or a lot of people, they tend to set up GoFundMe pages to help have different people pay off their trip. So helping donate someone so that they can pay off their trip is probably the best travel gift you can give someone. Second is packing cubes. I know a lot of people are very for or against packing cubes. I personally love packing cubes when I'm going on a trip that is longer, especially if I'm going to be going to multiple hotels, because it just really helps keep everything organized. Luggage. I feel like luggage is a big investment, but sometimes luggage breaks and I found myself having to get new luggage every couple of years because a corner or a wheel or something like that would break. And I most recently got the Away luggage, which is pricier, but they have a lifetime warranty and they're also just a great brand with really high quality luggage. And I just think they're also very aesthetically pleasing, but also very functional. A travel towel. I love to bring my travel towel. They are very compact, they're antimicrobial. It was a lifesaver for me during my most recent international trips when I was going from hotel to hotel or hostel to hostel. Just having a travel towel was amazing. A travel journal. I feel like many a times I wish I had journaled more during my trips. There's sometimes just an empty journal with maybe a map on the front, or just any type of journal would work, or there's specific themed travel journals out there, and that could always be a fun gift to give someone. A scratch off map. I love maps. Clearly I have one here. These maps, by the way, if anyone's wondering, were from Costco a while ago. They don't have it, at least at my Costco, and I know Costco tends to restock a lot. And this is also like a whiteboard kind of a style, which is really cool, where I can star or write whatever I want on there or wipe it away. But I also love scratch off maps. I actually have some that are over there out of frame, and it's just so fun to be able to scratch off all the different places that you've been to and continue to do so as you travel more and more. And going into the theme of maps, really anything map related. You could get different kinds of maps that aren't scratch off maps. You can get clothing with maps on them. You can get mugs with maps on them. Journals again with maps on them. I have a map on my laptop case. I have maps on my scarves. I have hoodies with maps on them. I'm just in love with maps, and if you're trying to buy something for a travel loving friend, I'm sure they love maps as well. Travel books. Now, I was actually able to find some travel books in my bookstore just as I was looking around, whether they were about certain types of maps that are kind of just fun little books that give you more knowledge on older maps or more unique maps, or a map type quiz. But there's also books such as the New York Times 100 Trips book that recently came out that's pretty cool, or other types of like 36 Hours in Blank by the New York Times. There's so many different travel books out there, and I feel like those are really good gifts because a lot of times people don't buy those kinds of books for themselves, so they make a really great gift, and they're also typically very visually stunning and great coffee table books or just to decorate the house with. Okay, I saw this next thing on TikTok and I think it's actually a pretty cool looking contraption that I would be interested in getting myself, and I just would describe it as a foot hammock. So for me, whether I'm on the plane or on the bus or whatever mode of transportation it is for a long period of time, I naturally just want to kick my feet up, but a lot of times I can't fully kick my feet up, but at least elevate my legs up. And it's always really hard to find a little nook and cranny in the seat in front of you to do that, but also not annoy the person in front of you. Well, I saw this foot hammock, and you basically just put it over the tray on the plane. Might work on the bus depending on what the layout situation looks like. But I thought this was a really cool idea. That would be really fun to get that travel loving friend in your life that might not even know that this exists, because I didn't know several weeks ago. Headphones. I think it's good to have a variation. So one would be getting the big Bose headphones, especially the noise canceling ones while traveling. Great for planes, great for hotel rooms or hostels, but also the AirPods I think are also a great gift to give as well. The next thing going on with technology, a camera is amazing. I personally love the Canon G7X camera. That's actually what I'm filming on right now. This is an older model from 2018, so I'm sure the newer ones are even better, and I've heard great things about them. And these cameras are great because they're really small point and shoot cameras but have the DSLR quality to them, so they're great because they're compact but they don't compromise on quality. Toiletries bag. I feel like with toiletries, we always have to have toiletries with us, and they can get really disorganized and messy very easily. I have one from Amazon that's very highly rated, and it comes in different sizes. I think I have the biggest one, and it's pretty big. I have a lot of toiletries and skincare products that I like to bring with me, and it can hold everything, and it's for a pretty good deal, so I definitely recommend getting a toiletry bag. The next thing is a Nordic backpack. This company I think has travel at the forefront. They make backpacks specifically meant for traveling, and when I got my Nordics, it really elevated my travel game. I used to have to, for example, take everything out in security at airports just to get my laptop out, whereas with the Nordics, the compartment for your laptop is its own, so it makes it so much easier. It's great for organizing. It has a little strap on the back so you can hook it onto your suitcase over the handle very easily, and it's just a really great backpack that I love for traveling, so I definitely recommend it, and it's also very fashionable. Another thing is a camel backpack. I noticed on my last international trip, what I did is I brought my Nordics backpack with me, but I also brought a tiny, really compactable camel backpack that was a day bag, and that was really great for a trip such as an EF Ultimate Break trip where I was doing a lot of adventurous things throughout the day. I feel like with the Nordics backpack, it's great to travel with on airplanes and for longer distances, but it's too big of a backpack for every day, and obviously on the website they have different options, but the one specifically that I had was too big, so I brought a smaller backpack, and I still wanted that big backpack to have all my electronics and smaller things or more important things that I didn't want to check in my suitcase on my person as I traveled. But having that small day bag backpack that I could use during the day when I would leave the hotel room and go on a hike or go to some kind of activity during the day without having to take out everything of my Nordics and use that, it was really amazing. And those camelback backpacks also have usually like water bottles in the back in that compartment with that tube, and you can fill it up and use it to drink water throughout the day. So having a backpack within a backpack for certain types of longer trips, I also highly recommend. Also, I recommend having a foldable duffel bag. These are great for somebody like me and many other people who tend to overpack. So what I would do is I would have this foldable duffel bag that you could just zip up into a tiny little square. Bring it with you. It doesn't take up too much space, and that way you know that when you buy souvenirs or what have you, you have the extra bag that you can use to carry all of your new stuff that you have acquired on your trip back home. The next thing for all the ladies out there or people that wear makeup, having a makeup eraser. These are great. This is a more sustainable find that you can use in your everyday life, but I feel like for traveling, it could take up a lot of space, whether you bring with you some kind of liquid form that takes off makeup or wipes or what have you. Whereas makeup erasers, you use it and you wash it, and it's more sustainable, and it also takes up more space, and I feel like makes traveling a lot easier. The next thing is a portable charger. When you're traveling, you're on the go a lot, you want to have your phone on you that is powered and working, especially if you're in an unfamiliar area. You want to be able to call people, you want to be able to use Google Maps, and you want to just be able to use your phone for whatever it may be, taking photos as well, and just overall for safety reasons. So having a portable charger is very important to have on you, and having that as a gift I think is an excellent idea for someone. The next thing would be a Hydro Flask water bottle. I personally have one and love for traveling. You just fill it up on the go. You don't have to waste plastic water bottles all the time. Also, a lot of places around the world, it might be harder to get water, but of course, when you are filling up your water bottle, make sure you're filling it up with clean, drinkable water. This really depends where you are in the world. But for me, my last trip, I went to Costa Rica and Ecuador in the Galapagos, and more hotels had safe drinking water jugs, for example, in the lobbies or throughout the hotel than I thought would be the case. So bringing a water bottle like that is very great and very convenient when traveling. The next thing is an Audible account. I've been obsessed with reading lately, and my favorite form has been audiobooks because it's so nice to be able to put on an audiobook when you're doing things around the house, going on walks, driving, and when traveling, long plane rides, going through the airport, whatever you're doing where you can listen to something as you're doing it and still be fine. It's just a really great way to keep yourself entertained, immerse yourself in a story, and Audible has so many different stories on there. I love it, and I personally have been using it for years. I also love to physically read books as well, but bringing physical books when traveling is just such a pain. So that is why I recommend a Kindle. I love my Kindle. If I had to choose between physical books and a Kindle, I for the longest time would have said physical books. But now I think I've switched over to the Kindle. I still will bookshop and read physical books, but I more so love to read from my Kindle. It's so small, it's so compact, and you can change the font size, you can change the brightness, you can do all these different things, and it just doesn't take up space. The next thing is having a special travel purse that is meant to keep your belongings safe from pickpocketers or whatever it may be. I found one from the brand Travelon, which I was able to find through the Container Store, but I'm sure other places have it. And these purses are great because they have this special type of fabric that prevents pickpocketers from getting in, whether it's someone trying to like slash your bag or trying to like get their hands in. They have zippers that have locks on them, and there's also some kind of material as well where like people can't, I'm not the best at describing this, but not able to steal your credit card information, and it has some kind of anti-theft barrier to it in many ways, and I just find those bags to be really great. They also have backpacks as well. Also, I've been eyeing this next gift for myself for quite some time, and I don't have it, and that is this giant wooden map board that is found on Etsy. You can get it in different kinds of colors, but they're all typically made of natural woods, and they can illuminate in the back, and I think this is such a cool statement piece for someone in their house if they love maps. Also, in general, Etsy has so many fun and unique and oftentimes handmade things, so just typing in travel or map, you can find a lot of many great things on there. I was able to also find a USA photo map, and just you can continue to look at more items as well on there. The next is a super puff from Aritzia. Now this is a clothing piece, but I love my super puff. I wear it and use it all the time when I travel to colder places, especially when I lived on the East Coast and I would travel up to New York all the time. But even in general, if you know someone that's traveling to a colder climate and they want a high quality coat, I would look into Aritzia's super puff. They come in all kinds of colors, all kinds of lengths, and even all kinds of like different textures as well. So definitely look into that. On the opposite spectrum, if you know someone is going to a warmer climate or having a need for swimsuits, I recommend the Nanny swimwear line. They make really cute swimsuits that are meant for more adventure-based water activities, and I also think they're just really cute. I would find myself oftentimes having to either find swimsuits that just kind of look like super sporty and not cute at all, or like for a much older crowd than someone in their 20s, or swimsuits that are really revealing and not something that's meant for adventure water activities. But I feel like Nanny perfectly combines and finds the middle of that, and I definitely recommend their swimwear. Next, going into buying experiences, I've been loving looking at Airbnb's local experiences, or even if you're traveling somewhere and seeing what experiences they have on there. I recently went and was able to go to a farm and pet different rabbits and ducks and all kinds of farm animals, mainly rabbits though, which I'm obsessed with, and it was so much fun. So looking into an Airbnb experience would be such a great gift for someone. Also, going back to scratch off maps, I was able to find a World Bucket List scratch off print adventure weights map on Etsy as well, which I also highly recommend. Another map I was able to also find is the DIY watercolor track your travels map. This one is a lot more creative and cool because it's not just scratching off something, but you actually paint your travels along the way, which I think if you have someone who loves travel and and is super creative, that is a great gift. Another one is an airplane phone mount. There have been many times where I've wanted to use my phone or iPad or whatever it may be to watch something and have it be mounted on the plane seat in front of me, and I wasn't able to, or I was able to try and mount it, but then it would fall. So getting one of those would be really convenient for someone. Another thing going on, the trend of having maps on things. I have a duvet cover on my bed that has a map on it, and I love it, from Society 6. They're also super soft and comfy and machine washable. They're great. And for phone cases are great for people. Everyone has a phone. My phone case is actually from Casetify. It does have a pop socket, so I actually sneak in maps whenever I can of the world, if I can get it correctly. But Casetify has so many phone cases that are great, and they're very durable. They protect your phone, and they have so many different options for you, and finding a map or something travel related on there for your travel friend. Also, an idea is solid toothpaste, shampoo, or conditioner from Lush. Now with traveling, liquids can be a bit complicated. I know places such as Lush, they sell solid things that are normally in liquid form but in solid form, and I've heard really cool and interesting reviews about them. So trying to get solid, again, forms of toothpaste or conditioner or shampoo would make traveling so much easier, and would be a really neat idea. And maybe the person you get this for gets really into having this in a solid form and continues to use it in their everyday lives. Another useful item is a money belt. Eagle Creek makes great money belts. These you just have under your clothing, whether it be your sweater, shirt, whatever it may be, just to have your money and your passport and all of your very important documents on your person, so that way if you do happen to have a pickpocketer or get like robbed, which hopefully you never do, but that will keep your items as safe as possible. And the next is an international adapter for all your electronics. Many a times when you go abroad, there are different types of outlets and you will need an adapter. And sometimes people may forget about this, especially if they're just used to having the American or whatever it may be plugins, but getting one of those, I know the Container Store has a lot of great options. In addition, the GoTube mini travel bottles, because we typically do have to have toiletries and skincare items and liquids on us, a lot of times in the past I have skimped out and bought the cheaper plasticky bottles, but I've noticed, although these are more expensive, the GoTube mini bottles, I love them for so many different reasons. I love the silicone feel. It's easier to clean out because it has like a bigger opening, and it even has, if I can explain it, it has like a little plastic ring on the outside that you can put on over the lid and click it, so that way it is essentially spill proof. And I just find that buying a pack of these, whether it's 1 or 2 packs, and just reusing them over and over again, and they're high quality, making that more of a splurge purchase once versus getting those mini little plastic bottles over and over and over again is so much better. Another one is a lock, especially if you're traveling or you know someone who's traveling in a hostel. A lock is essential because you're gonna want to lock up your belongings. Another is motion sickness bands, whether it be someone who's going on a cruise or someone who's going on a train or a car and they get car sick. I definitely recommend these. Another is Velcro one wrap ties for cables. Cables can easily get really tangled and messy when traveling, so getting something that will keep them organized will be a lifesaver and help you save on time and stress, especially when trying to get through all your belongings. So those wrap ties I highly recommend. Along with having a case for cables, I, with my away luggage, got a little case that looks just like my suitcase but like mini, and I didn't know what I'd use it for, but it was so cute, and I ended up using it for my cables along with those ties, and it was a life changer when I was traveling, especially going from hotel room to hotel room every 1 to 3 nights. I highly, highly recommend getting some kind of thing to help keep your cables organized. The next is a travel perfume little bottle spray. A lot of us love to use perfumes, but those perfume bottles are way too huge to bring with us, especially if you're only having carry-ons. So having little travel size perfume sprays are great. The next is a luggage scale. Once I got a luggage scale, I could not go back. They're so convenient, and it's just great to know how much your suitcase is going to weigh before you get to the airport, to prevent having to do that whole process where you have to open and take out things, because I tend to overpack, so having a luggage scale is amazing. The next item is a mini first aid kit. It's just really great to have. I have one. just to have as a peace of mind. The next I found has been very popular as of recently, and that is a dry spell floating pouch. And I personally didn't have one because I was still too afraid to use it on my phone, but it's basically a case, a waterproof case for your iPhone that goes around your head or however it may be, and you can bring your phone with you on water activities. And so many people on my EF trip that I just recently went on, because we went to Costa Rica and the Galapagos, lots of different water activities. At least half the people on my tour had them, and no one had their phones get damaged. One person dropped their phone and it floated to the bottom of the lake and they lost it, but that was not the fault of the pouch. It does not float, but it kept his phone dry. The next is Go Sonic toothbrushes. I love electronic toothbrushes, and now I can't go back, and I don't want to skimp on my oral hygiene health when traveling, but having those Sonic toothbrushes can be quite bulky. So I know the Container Store and maybe some other places as well sell Sonic toothbrushes. They're much slimmer and more compact, and I just think they're great quality toothbrushes, and you can buy the heads by themselves and switch them out when you need to. The next is a travel jewelry case. Again, with the cables, jewelry can get really tangled up and just stressful and messy, so getting a case to help organize all of your jewelry or your friend's jewelry, whoever you're buying the gift for, is great. And the next in general is travel themed jewelry. Again, Etsy has so many great options. If you look up travel related jewelry options on there, many times you can get it personalized. I love that. And the next, this is a shameless plug, but the Nintendo Switch. Having the Nintendo Switch is great to have when you're traveling, whether you're on the plane again, bus, train, whatever it may be. When you have downtime, to be able to play, you can play on your screen like a normal game console, but at the same time you can just play on the go. It can be handheld, and there's so many fun and great games out there. It can be multiplayer or just by yourself, and it's a great thing to do when you have downtime. In addition to that, there's games for the Switch. There's so many different games for the Switch to buy along for your game console. And the next, I did talk about books earlier, but another type of book that you can gift is more fiction books that are travel related or themed for the book lovers in your life that are also travel lovers. So for example, I love the books by Bill Bryson. He has so many different books about different regions of the world that he's visited. I also love the book What I Was Doing While You Were Breeding. That's such a funny book. If you know anyone who is a female in their 20s or 30s and they're not having children, they're traveling, they're doing their thing, that is what this author did, and it was just a great read. On the last couple of items, shoe bags is also great. I do not ever want to pack my shoes along with my clothes or anything else because I just think the bottom of shoes are the grossest thing, and I don't want that to touch clean clothes. So getting shoe bags for someone to help them be organized and have their items stay clean. And lastly, as a safety item, a portable door lock home security system for hotel rooms. A lot of times when traveling, travelers might not feel safe enough even with the locks on the door, especially as females. And so having something like these locks will just give us a peace of mind and help keep us safe. Those have been my 50+ travel ideas. I tried to go really fast, but I think this video is still going to be a bit long. I hope you have a travel-filled 2023. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope you have a great day or night whenever you're seeing this, and I hope to see you in a future video of mine. Bye!